Hello there. At the beginning of January 2025, I made a video covering 20 quality of life improvements I wanted to see from CIG that year. And it is a bit ironic that later on in that month that CIG announced that 2025 would be the actual year that you'd be focusing on quality of life, stability and adding content. So you'd think a good number of the items that I listed off would have got checked off, right? Well, not quite. Out the entire list, I only got like 2 items really. The ship compass and looting bodies. Looting bodies did get better, but there are still some issues like backpacks could block interaction with looting, but we did get 2 out of 20, so I can't complain. That said, I really enjoyed making that video, so I figured it was time to do it again. So today I'm putting together a new list of 20 quality of life improvements I'd like to see from CIG in 2026. This is mostly a fresh list. I didn't want to just repeat last year's ideas, but there are 2 or 3 items that still need attention, so they're making a return. If you're interested in last year's list, there's a link in the description. Hopefully I can put a thumbnail on the screen, but with that, let's jump straight into number 1. Right, so number 1 is the map. There are many issues with the map, but I'm going to talk about a very specific one. Rather annoyingly in 4.5, CIG has made the decision that you now, when opening the map, start at your ship map and not the solar system map. Now, this is a problem because you can't set destination, and I would say 90% of the player base who are opening the map are opening the map to set a destination somewhere. They're not looking at their ship, so that's a bit of an issue. But there are 3 maps. You have your ship local map, you have your solar system map, and you have your galactic map. If we zoom out, we'll go to galactic map. Now, when we're at this map, there are keybinds to go to your ship map, go to the solar system map, and then there's an option which is same as number 3, but it takes you closer, so it will take me to Daymar because that's where I am. If we go to our solar map, we still have the option to go to the ship map, but we don't have an option to go to the galactic map. If you go to the ship map, we don't have an option to go to the system map or the galactic map. Now, I think those options need to be here on every single map, so I can just quickly hit a number to go to a map. I do not like this zooming in and out thing that they like it's more style over function because it has really annoying implementation issues, which I will show you. For example, so if we go to where I am over at Daymar and I start zooming in and I want to go, I'm trying to go to a certain location that has multiple locations. Maybe I'm trying to click on a party member. I zoom in, boom, I'm at ship map. I didn't want to go to ship map, and if we zoom back out, it doesn't put me back from where it popped me into the map, into the ship map. It puts me all the way back out here. So once again, I have to zoom in. Like, I didn't want to go to the ship map, but you're forcing me into the ship map, and it's the same problem. The amount of times I've been scrolling out, just trying to get to sort, and I've gone too far. I'm now way back in the galactic map, and I have to zoom back in. I don't like being forced into different maps. I think the maps should just be separate maps and just have the keybinds here so I can go to those maps. Because the frustration I've had multiple times where I'm being pulled into another map and I have to scroll out and scroll in and scroll out, and it's really annoying if I'm trying to like click on a QT marker for a teammate, so I'm just trying to scroll in to get in there to click their name to set course, but I can't because I'm now on this map. That's number 1. So let's move on to number 2. It's one of those ones that I find incredibly frustrating to use, and it's something we use every single time we play the game. Now, I'm using this as an example because it's kind of hard to repeat, but how many times have you been trying to QT somewhere and it's just been flicking back and forth between multiple QT markers because they're in the same area? Be it like a mission marker or a party marker, and you're just sitting there constantly like re-spooling because it keeps switching between different QT markers. I feel that any marker that's in like, say, a sphere of the crosshair, it should just pick whatever one's the closest to your ship, and that should be the marker that you QT to. Obviously, when you get closer, you can drop out and select that, but this Z fighting between QT markers is so annoying. I would like them to do something about that. Right, number 3, staying on the kind of QT marker kind of discussion, it would be nice. At first I thought for like Tobii eye tracking, when Tobii eye tracking you can look at other ships and it highlights and you can lock onto them without needing to like move your ship to the center of each ship. And I thought it'd be cool for Tobii eye tracking, but it'd actually just be cool straight across for like looking, for if I'm looking around, and that is names. So you'll notice I don't get the name of this marker until I move the crosshair of the ship onto the marker. Now, in little ships, that's not too bad. Bigger ships are a bit sluggish, so kind of zooming around trying to find the one you want. Now, I understand this kind of makes sense where it shows the name once you look at it, so your whole screen's not full of cluttered of different location names. But it'd be nice if I moved the center of the look camera at those QT markers, it would reveal the name, similar to if I moved the crosshair of the ship to the center. That would be a nice quality of life, so I can just kind of look around for the location I want a QT to without needing to set course, and it would show the name. I wouldn't have to keep moving my ship crosshair to each location to try and find the one that I might want to jump to, etc. Okay, number 4. This is a bit of a weird one, and it doesn't have a huge effect on gameplay, but it annoys me slightly, and that is fixed sun location. You'll notice this is the plane of the solar system running along here, but Stanton's sun is above the solar system. It's not above the solar system in Nyx or Pyro. I think this was originally done because they didn't want you flying through the sun or something, I don't know, but it's kind of weird that it's not. It should be here because you can see there's Hurston. It should be in the center of the solar system and not above the solar system. I know that's a bit of a weird one, but anyway. Number 5. The pilot has the ability to unlock ports, open all doors, unlock the ship, etc. From this wheel. Now, this needs to be on the engineering screen. I don't know if you just put a little screen, a little lock symbol up here to unlock components, some buttons to open all doors, shut all doors. As an engineer, you're running around trying to put out fires, switch out components, vent the ship to let out fires. In a combat situation, you don't want to be fiddling around trying to find the right door to open, to set a route to outside, to vent a specific room. It'd be great if you just click open all doors, then click the exterior doors open, and it would vent the whole ship. And then if you didn't want specific areas not being vented, you could shut them beforehand. That would be great. Like, I feel like as an engineer, you need those abilities. They shouldn't be locked to the pilot's chair. Number 6, alerts. One of the coolest thing about the smuggler mission is when you board the enemy Polaris and it has like a full-on siren, red alert kind of situation going. That'd be cool to have on your own ships. Like having a blue alert, yellow alert, red alert, battle stations alert. It's very sci-fi. It's in most films and TVs. There's some kind of alert system to alert the crew, like you're going into battle or you're taking damage. Also, when you activate self-destruct, it'd be nice if there was an actual countdown to let you know how long you've got to get out the ship. You have 15 minutes to reach minimum safe distance, sort of thing. It'd be just nice to have some kind of comm system within the ship to alert the crew. Number 7 is to do with multi-tools. Now, with engineering, I tend to carry 2 multi-tools, one with a tractor beam and one with the repair tool attachment. Now, the issue is, I don't know which one's which, because you'll notice it just says multi-tool. This is where I think that they should add, in brackets, under where it says multi-tool, the current attachment. So this one should say tractor beam, and this one should say SRV, or whatever the repair tools attachment's called, I forget. But I keep finding myself pulling the wrong one out, and then I have to go, okay, it's not that one, it's that one. So it would be very nice if it actually said the attachment that is plugged into the multi-tool. Number 8. Every month, if you're subscribed to the CIG website, they give you some sort of flair, be it clothing or an item that you can use to decorate your hangar, like a plant pot or like CitizenCon stuff. They are constantly giving you stuff and selling stuff to decorate your hangar. Now, there is a problem though. Now, this problem makes sense in the verse outside of your hangar. That is an item limit. You don't want like 30 undersuits all in an area. You would want to start culling them, so you'd start deleting them. Now, that same system applies to hangar flair. So I had loads of items here, I had items here, and as I started putting more and more stuff out from my inventory, I noticed stuff was disappearing. So I feel like in my hangar, I should have a higher allowance for items that I have out in the verse in your hangar, because it is, if I put more and more items out, eventually this is going to delete itself. This is going to delete itself. All this stuff's going to delete itself. It doesn't go back to your inventory. It just gets Thanos'd out of existence, and you can't get it back until the next patch. So it would be nice if there was a higher player item limit. Number 9 is to do with the speed in which your ships get retrieved. It would be nice if CIG would up the speed of the doors here. So I understand that this can't go any faster, because then when it comes back up, ships will clip through the floor. But it would be nice, because it's such a long time to wait for your ships to come up, if these doors move twice as quickly, because it's quite a bit of time you spend sitting here waiting for the doors to slowly shut and then for them to slowly back open. So it'd be nice if you could at least double the speed of the doors so we don't have to wait for so long for our ships to open. Okay, number 10, and this is kind of do with the freight elevator. And I know I just talked about item limits, but the freight elevator has an item limit issue. Now, your inventory kind of gets around this. The fact that they 3D render every object rather than having an icon causes issues, but the inventory system kind of gets around that by having pages. So it never renders so many items that it becomes unresponsive. Now, if we move over to the freight elevator, unlike the inventory system, the freight elevator doesn't have pages. It will just keep like fix it. Right. As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by somebody else's hangar loading inside mine, the freight elevator doesn't have pages. It generates items as you scroll down. Now, the problem with that is, as you start scrolling down, it will eventually just stop populating items. Now, one way I get around this usually is by putting like garbage in boxes so I don't have so many items. But obviously that is a fundamental problem with the freight elevator. If you want to 3D render every object and you have a limit to how many objects you can have rendered, you need to add a stack button. Also, this is another bug which was added with Nix, where elevators, like freight elevator, it's working now. Screens just become unresponsive. Freight elevators, selecting your ship, shop terminals, they just completely become unresponsive. There we go, it just once again has just become completely unresponsive. Nothing's working. Number 11. I'm in a ship that requires an extra large hangar. There are currently extra large hangars at the location I wish to land at. Now, when I go to request landing, it assigns me a docking arm and not one of the extra large hangars that are currently available. So, I would like if they just added a third option here, that landing control is for hangars, landing control docking would be for docking arms, and then you have obviously the cargo one. So I would like them to add a third option here called docking. So like, I don't want to dock in a ship sometimes. Sometimes I want to land my ship in the hangar because I might want to move stuff in and out, vehicles or whatnot. Number 12. Your hangar should always be at the top, or just like the customs here, which is a lobby, just add a second one there that says your hangar. The fact that every time you get in an elevator you have to scroll to the bottom to get to your hangar is slightly annoying. It'd be nice if that was at the top, or literally like customs / lobby, a button right there. Right, number 13. It would be nice if I could mantle up cargo boxes. I can mantle up all these kind of boxes, but I can't mantle up like cargo boxes that you put in your ship, where you might get stuck in your ship where you have to climb over boxes, but I can't mantle up these ones. It would be nice that all cargo boxes would be mantable. Just want to point out though, this is a junior grade mission, and the pickup location is a trespass zone. Lovely bug there. Right. Oh, and there goes the ship. Junior grade mission. Anyway, boxes. Please let me mantle up boxes. The cargo boxes. Right, number 14. It would be nice if you could split and combine cargo. If I have a mission to transport a 32 SCU box of whatever, I wouldn't be able to use the Zeus, even though I technically have 32 SCU worth of space. So it would be nice to be able to split boxes into smaller boxes, or combine smaller boxes into bigger boxes, because you're transporting the contents, not the boxes. So being able to split and combine boxes would be really nice if that was like some kind of mode in the freight elevator terminal. Number 15, voice comms. I know when you speak, it makes that little sound. but you have no idea if other players can hear you. So it'd be nice that when I hit the voice comms, a little icon would pop up above everyone's head that's nearby. So if they could hear me, there'd be a little green speaker. If they're not connected to VoIP, there'd be a little red speaker. If one of them are transmitting, there'd be a little green microphone symbol. Just some kind of idea that people are actually talking to you, because I've been in many occasions where I'm trying to talk to somebody and they can't hear me, or I have no idea if they can hear me, so that would be nice. Number 16, landing lights. As you can see, I can see in front of me here, but if we go like below, there's almost no visibility for below my ship when landing. Now, it's not as much of a problem in a small ship like a fighter craft. So if I go ahead and land here, like I still can't see the ground. Okay, now we can see the ground where we're pretty close. But, oh, am I gonna be able to get over those little trees? There we go. This is more of an issue in larger ships that have, say, ramps and elevators. When I need to be able to see the area that I'm landing in is flat enough for me to be able to lower the elevator to get out the ship, and will I be able to get back in the elevator? Or is the elevator going to be like off above the ground at a weird angle? Is the ramp not going to line with the ground so I can't get back in via the ramp? I need to be able to see where I'm landing, which is why landing gear lighting is very important. They need to be able to light up the area below your ship a lot more than what we currently have. Number 17, being able to disconnect calls. As you can see here, there's a disconnect button. Doesn't work. If I'm in like some kind of combat situation where I need to be able to see like the status of my ship or the status of the target, and it's being held up by an NPC yapping to me and I can't disconnect that call, that's not good. So that disconnect button needs to work. We need to be able to disconnect calls from the NPCs. Well, at least the video call. Number 18. We still can't bring up vehicles in the freight elevator. This was on last year's, but I'm going to add it again because there are no ground vehicle spawns in Nyx. There's no places to take ground vehicles. There's no ground vehicle spawns in Pyro. You have to use your hangars, and it's a pain in the butt to have to like pull stuff to the side and all that kind of stuff. When are we getting freight elevator that can spawn ground vehicles? It's overdue. Number 19. It would be nice if there was an app on the mobiGlas similar to engineering, but for opening doors. There have been many occasions where I've not landed perfectly on a planet and I can't reach the button, so I can't get back in my ship. Or I can't find the F prompt because it's under the ground because of the way the ship's not landed on a flat surface, etc. So it'd be nice if I can open the mobiGlas and click open a door or an elevator on my ship remotely. Right, number 20, the last one. It's actually two things here, and it's not to do with anything in the game, it's actually to do with the web store. If you notice, if I go to buy a ship, there's a sort option for like high, low, A to Z, there's newest and featured. So I can see the newest vehicles. Now, it's not to do with buying ships, it's to do with buying paints. There's no newest for paints, so if there's like an IE, and I want to see all the new paints this IE, because there might be a paint I like, I don't have to go searching for every ship I own to see if there's a paint for every ship I own. So it'd be nice if there was a new section here, but more importantly, there needs to be a lot better way of them to show what the paints look like on your ships, because it's just one picture. What does it look like from the back? What does it look like under it? What does it look like in other lighting settings? Like the amount of times, I would guarantee the amount of times people have bought paints and they get it in game and it doesn't quite look like it did on the web store. So there needs to be a lot better way to show what paints look like in the web store. I don't know if they do have a 360 rotate orbit around a ship at different lighting states, so what it looks like in space, what it might look like in the aero hangar or the self-land hangar. But they need to do a lot better job at showing what paints look like because there's no other pictures. It's just one picture. What is, like, I'm miles away from the ship. What does this ship look like from this angle? What does this ship look like in the sun, or on a different planet with different lighting? I just feel like that if you're selling, I'm fine with them selling cosmetics, but you need to be a lot more honest on what it looks like. So that's the end of the video. So 20 things I'd like to see in 2026. I know I have no chance. Some of them are a bit meh, some are like I really want. But anyway, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, hit subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Please leave your own quality of life items you would like to see in the comments. I'd like to see what you guys want to see in the game. But have a great 2026, and I'll see you on the next video.